Man, oh man, I didn't know if I was going to be making this video. I didn't know if this was going to be something that we kind of saw happen, but it did, and we're here with a video, man. So this is actually, I think, some maybe genuinely good news. I'm assuming a lot of you have heard about the pretty recent Chris Chan stuff that happened, and the whole situation kind of unfolding there. And if you have, I'm so sorry that your brain cannot be factory reset to what it was, just days prior to you learning that information, but it turns out that Chris Chan has been arrested. So if you don't know about the Chris Chan situation, I'm going to do a brief rundown here real quick. Chris Chan is what's known as a lolcow, essentially someone that people online gang up on and make fun of all the time, and is one of the most documented people in human history. People online have been able to get virtually every single little detail about Chris Chan's life out there, and there's once again a 58-part YouTube documentary series that is, averaging about 45 minutes in length per episode that kind of documents this history. And oh boy, trust me, there's going to be a few more episodes, I think, probably guaranteed in that series now with all these developments. So basically, this Chris Chan person who's been so widely documented had a leaked phone call come out in which they openly admit and giddily detail the sexual experiences that they've been having with their 80-year-old mother who suffers from what appears to be extreme dementia, meaning that Chris Chan, one of the people that the internet knows the best, has openly admitted in a leaked phone call to having unconsensual sexual relationships with their own mother. So, absolutely fucking disgusting news, to say the least, right? Like, I think anyone who has heard this phone call, who has heard these details, is pretty much absolutely just, just disgusted. There's no other way to really put it, right? Because obviously most people do not support this type of behavior. There have been a few people trying to come out and defend Chris Chan for what they did, but for the most part, everyone's pretty much in the same boat, right? Like, we're all looking at this like, what's going on here? This is definitely not, I would say, the average family behavior. So, with that being said, though, Chris Chan has been arrested. I'm going to go ahead and show you the video here of the arrest that happened.
I felt good. Christine, is the merge coming?
All right.
It's happening now. We're on the very
The merge,
spread.
it's happening right now, isn't it?
Right now, it is.
We're living it.
It's happening right now.
Farewell, Chris Chan.
The dimensional merge is happening right now. August 1st.
Well, there goes Chris Chan into the Henrico County deputy's car here.
So in that video, Chris Chan is being arrested for presumably what happened with their mom. So internet personality Chris Chan has been arrested on a charge of incest. The 39-year-old artist, blogger, and YouTube star, whose official name is Christine Weston Chandler, is being held at Henrico County Regional Jail West in Virginia. In a statement issued to Newsweek, Henrico County Sheriff Elisa Gregory said, "Christine Weston Chandler is currently being held in our Jail West facility on one count of incest and awaiting arraignment in Greene County, Virginia." Sheriff Gregory was unable to provide any further information relating to the arrest other than to say, quote, "The criminal charges are not for Henrico County but Greene County." Gregory said, quote, "We are just housing until transport can be arranged." All right, so this is a look at the inmate details here, and we can see everything, the inmate ID, the facility, the booking date, things like that. So, officially booked in at 8:23 p.m. yesterday evening on a charge of incest with own child or grandchild, which is a weird description for the charge because obviously this didn't happen with a kid or a grandkid. This actually ended up happening with their own mother. So, I'm not totally sure if that's just like a misinput or if that's just like the formal description of the charge and I guess it can umbrella out to other members of the family and it's just the name of the charge or whatever in the system or what's going on with that, but that is a little bit misleading. Now, something pretty disturbing that came up in this article as I read a little bit deeper into it here is something that I really want to show you guys simply for, adding context to the whole situation. So, about 3 weeks ago, Chris Chan actually used their Facebook profile to upload some pictures of the mother who the relationship had with, and I think this gives us some fresh insight into just exactly who we're talking about here, right? Because Because I feel like when you hear like, oh, Chris Chan slept with his mom, right? Like you're expecting like an 18 or a 19 or a 21, like a young adult male with like a 40 or like a 50-year-old woman being the mom, right? And that is absolutely not the case, okay? We're talking about a near 40-year-old who is having a relationship with an 80-year-old, okay? Already pretty gross to think about, but take a look at these pictures, man. So, Barbie Chan got a styling haircut. I did that. First time cutting anyone's hair. It looks really good, okay? And you can see these two pictures here where this woman clearly is not in the best of health, okay? Like, I don't know if maybe I'm looking a little too deep into it, but she doesn't look all mentally there. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense. She has dementia, right? She's kind of looking around as if she's like in a fucking daze. You know what I'm saying? As if she's not fully registering what exactly is going on. So, I mean, that's just the way that I see it. Obviously, she's too old to resist or, like, defend herself in any circumstance, really. But she also just looks like she's not even really socially there, which to me, it's low-key just fucking sad seeing these pictures, because these were posted on July 11th, okay? Which, according to the phone call, these relationships, quote unquote, if you want to call it that for lack of a more, socially great term here. So those started at June 27th is when they first started having a fucking sexual relationship, which means that these pictures have been taken during this time frame, right, where this has apparently been happening. And not only that, right, like if you refer back to the call, they say, Chris Chan says that it happens pretty much every 3 days, which means that on July 12th is when this whole relationship, quote unquote, aka this woman being fucking assaulted, was set to take place. Meaning that these pictures were taken within hours of this supposedly happening. And to see her looking, to me, fucking dazed and not understanding just makes me sad. Because this is probably how she looks and behaves and feels all the time, and this is what's going on. And to kind of refer back to the charges too, because I think that this is important to talk about, it's important to note that there's only one charge, and that's for incest. There's no, like, sexual assault charges, no coercion, no elderly abuse, nothing like that. I'm not sure if the police are taking that into accountability. I'm not sure if the police even realize that this woman has dementia and cannot really consent to anything like this. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if they have proof enough to make a charge for incest, which means, a relationship with a family member, and they apparently should know that this woman has dementia, I'm going to assume that it's in her fucking medical records somewhere, there should be more charges, okay? There should be some sort of assault charge, in my opinion, even elderly abuse, because obviously this is an abuse taking place on an elderly person who cannot defend themselves. This should not be an incest charge, okay? Because I looked it up, and of course this isn't fully 100% guaranteed, but I did look up this charge in the state of Virginia to see what it carries. And according to what I found, it's considered a Class 1 misdemeanor with a punishment equaling a maximum of a year in prison and or a maximum fine of $2,500. So basically for assaulting their mother, okay, who cannot defend themselves or most likely even really consider what's happening, Chris Chan may only face a maximum of 12 months in prison or a maximum fine of about $2,500. So basically a fucking stimulus check or two would have covered this horrible crime that's been taking place. I feel like that's low-key injustice. I mean, in a lot of these online cases like this where influencers and YouTubers and people like that get caught doing this type of horrible, reckless shit, there aren't charges. Like in the EDP case, I'm pretty sure there was no charges even though there was like 40 minutes of evidence. People really don't get charged for shit like this online, man, and even though, yes, this did go further, at least, than some of the other situations have, once again, I just don't feel like a Class 1 misdemeanor with such a little penalty is enough. I think more charges need to be considered. And if Chris Chan's not going to go to jail for this, we're talking like you need to go to a mental facility or something. Anyway, with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just, man, and signing out.